Mike King from realnewsandhistory.com with you today to talk about a Q post, a very important, well-known Q post. Q post 916 from March 10th, 2018, which reads as follows: "We are saving Israel for last. A very specific reason, not mentioned a single time." Now, who would have been able to interpret such a post back in 2018? Would not have made any sense. What do you mean saving Israel for last? You would have to be really astute to understand what that post was saying. Now, in 2025, it's a lot easier to put it all together. But saving Israel for last, isn't that what we're seeing now more and more? But a few other Q posts I'd like to read to you to put that in a better perspective. One would be Q post 4281 from May of 2020. It says, "The objective is to checkmate the king. Do you attack the king at the beginning of the game?" Well, as you know, in chess, the king comes last. He's too well protected. You have to remove the other pieces before you get to the king. Do you attack and remove the pawns first? Do you attack and remove bishops, rooks, knights next? Do you attack and remove the queen mid to end game? Is the game being played publicly or privately? So what that post is saying is you attack the king when? Last. What did that other post say? We're saving Israel for last. The king is Israel, meaning that is the worldwide headquarters of the cabal in Israel. And it's interesting, tying this back to history like I like to do. We go back to 1924, a little book called Mein Kampf, written by Adolf Hitler. Ooh, did he just say Hitler? Yeah, they lied about him too. Hitler's war, his struggle, Mein Kampf literally means my struggle, is this struggle. It's the same war that the Q operation with Trump fronting for is fighting. Same adversary. Listen to what he writes in 1924. Now, mind you, Israel does not exist as a nation at this time, but the Zionist movement is growing. They had established a foothold in Palestine because of the Balfour Declaration after World War I, etc. So they're heading in that direction. And, Hitler sees right through the scam. And he writes in Mein Kampf, "It doesn't enter their heads to build up a Jewish state for the purpose of living there. All they want is a central organization for their international world swindle, endowed with its own sovereign rights and removed from the intervention of other states. A haven for convicted scoundrels and a university for budding crooks." Boom, nailed it. That's what Israel is. It's the worldwide headquarters now because it's now institutionalized within a proper state that's got its own laws and government and military and intelligence and security apparatus. So they're safe there. Anything happens in any country in the world, the headquarters is there. Everything's run out of Israel. Mossad supersedes the CIA. Hitler saw that a long time ago, even before Israel was formed. And now we all understand that it is indeed the, quote, headquarters for the international swindle, the one world government scam. Okay? So that is why. So the king, Q post 4281, when do you attack the king? Where is the king in Israel? You attack the king last. Q916, saving Israel for last, because that's the king. That's the head of the snake right there. So, now how do you get to the king? Well, you've got to remove all the other pieces first, just like it said. But there's a methodology that had to be followed all these past 8 years, which is what a lot of people don't understand. They're not patient. They're not strategic. They wanted everything done in 2 weeks, right? But it tells you right here in Q Post 151, November 14, 2017. This is only like in his third week of posting. Listen to this. How do you capture a very dangerous animal? Do you attack it from the front? Do you walk through the front door? Do you signal ahead of time that you will be attacking? No, of course not. You can't go against the power of the Jewish cabal head on. That would be foolish. They'll destroy you. They control the fake news and the Hollywood and the academia and the Republican Party and the Democrat Party and the various parliamentary systems of Europe. And on it goes. And they got everybody brainwashed with this hoax propaganda. And then you got the paid pastors, the crooked evangelical pastors who work for Israel. On and on it goes. So many different levels of power and influence. You go against that head on, they'll squash you like a bug. Now, how do you approach a dangerous animal? I'll tell you, I would do it if I were assigned the task of capturing, say, a lion in the wild. I show up with a side of beef and maybe from a few hundred miles away. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Give him little pieces of meat, win his trust, his friendship, become part of the pride. And then when he goes to sleep, then you kill him. Bash him over the head with a rock or something. Stab him. That's how you capture a dangerous animal. Not by going full frontal, going, the Jews. That's that going to get you? We could do that online, okay? Because we're part of a different game. You're president of the United States and you're fronting for a military operation that's fighting this power. You have to use stealth and cunning and win their trust. You understand that? And then you'll understand these images, which really got some of the black pill people so fired up. Oh, look at Trump. He's a Zionist. He's sucking Netanyahu's balls. Look at him. No, this is how you played the game. Okay? Became president. He moved the embassy to the Jewish section of Jerusalem. Big deal. He recognized the Golan Heights as Israeli. Big deal. They stole that in 1968. So he did all these cosmetic things, and I love Israel, and I stand with Israel, and I love Bibi. Had to do that. I mean, you've got like 30 million evangelical Christian Zionist nut jobs who demand that. So you tell them what they want to hear, okay? And you give them all the spectacle and all the obstacles. Meanwhile, you maneuver on the down low. Now, I'm telling you, the whole time he's doing photo ops like this, okay, pretending to be butt buddies with Bibi Netanyahu, he's maneuvering against them. It's just like the movie The Godfather. You ever seen Godfather? How the gangsters pretend to like each other. They're real cordial and civil, face to face. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they're plotting to whack each other left and right. That's what was going on. That is how you approach a dangerous animal. And there's a whole long story of all the maneuvers that Trump made to weaken the Zionist, globalist, Jewish mafia entity. You read about all the articles I've written at realnewsandhistory.com to get into it in more depth. But really, the killer blow, or the beginning of the killer blow, begins in October 7th, that infamous day, 2023, right? When Hamas came in to Israel on their little paragliders, most secure border in like world history, and they just walked right in, killed a bunch of Israelis, kidnapped a bunch more, go back into Gaza. That was all wag the dog, all make-believe, all fake, because by this time, the U.S. military's got everything under control. Everything you're watching now is a movie. Netanyahu's been out of the picture for years. He met the same fate as this guy. You see that? That's fake Joe Biden with a mask. That's what you had in the fake White House for 4 years. You had a military operative wearing a mask. Oh, yeah. If you don't understand that, then this... a little too advanced for you. You need to go back to Q kindergarten, as I like to say, and read The Secret Plan to Save Humanity. This was excellent for beginners. It's also good for those of you who are experienced Anons. It's a great resource guide and summary. And it's very easy to share with people who are beginning to be suspicious. People on our side, or maybe they're a little scared and they think the wheels are falling off this world. The Secret Plan to Save Humanity. I'm going to put the link below to my Amazon page. That's a 1-hour read. And, then you'll understand that Joe Biden was executed long before the election of 2020. And we had a military operative in the White House. And the invisible pen, or that remote pen that signed all those bills, that was Trump signing that. Trump was president all along. He never left. That's why on the cap, you see 45-47 on his Make America Great Again red cap. It's continuation. He never left. Most of you already know that if you're watching this video. But now let's think logically here. If Biden is fake, then who's this guy he's meeting with? You telling me that's the real Netanyahu? You're telling me they wouldn't know, the Mossad wouldn't know that this operation executed the real Biden, put in a fake? Where did they meet? White House was empty all those years. It's a fake White House. So you see, a little bit of logical inference here. If Biden is fake, and we know he's fake, was wearing a mask, that means anybody he's meeting with is also fake or part of the operation. This character here is part of the operation. Oh, don't hate this man. This guy deserves a medal. This is a military operative wearing a Bibi Netanyahu mask. Yeah, okay? Netanyahu's gone. He's in the same place where Biden is. Probably dead, maybe in a cell somewhere. I don't know. This is one of the architects of 9/11. Of course he's gone. So now we go back to that step-by-step sequential mode of thinking, that logical inference. If Biden is fake and Bibi is fake and also removed, then who's giving the order for this so-called genocide in Gaza? It's Wag the dog. I know that's tough for people to accept, but I have analyzed hundreds of pictures and video. It's fakery everywhere. Crisis actors, fake blood, CGI, lots of CGI. You'll see some images of buildings imploding, just like World Trade 7, coming straight down into their footprint, supposedly after being hit by a missile. There's even a Twitter page called Gazawood. There's a bunch of frustrated Israelis and Jews putting up all these fake images saying what's going on here. And it's interesting, the Israeli government is not complaining about all of these fake crisis actors, giving them a bad name, because they're under control. They're done. The whole leadership's been taken out. Everything is a movie, just like Wag the Dog in 1997. Look at all these fake images. Hundreds of them. The children with the pots clamoring for food. May I have some more, please? They're fake. Those kids look like they're starving to you. And there's so many of them, these images. Some of them are quite comical. And then there's been images online where you see someone, for example, dead in that Muslim cloth, and then they open their eyes and start moving. Fakery, fakery, fakery. Yes, they can fake a war. If you can put a fake president in the White House, you can fake a war. Okay? Again, who would be giving the orders for this destruction of Gaza if Netanyahu's not around? I think Trump's doing it? No, it's not happening. They might be blowing up some shit over there just to create an illusion of reality, maybe even fool the local people. There's no genocide there. There's no real war there. Look at this image. This is the same guy. 6 different images. These are real images. A lot of these have appeared in mainstream media. In one image, he's a paramedic. Another one, he's a wounded Palestinian. Okay? Another one, he's a tour guide. Another one, he's a foster parent. And there's several of these. You see, and there's one image. It's the same girl being carried out of rubble by 3 different guys, 3 different situations. All of these drama shots coming out of Gaza. There's more. There's hundreds of these. This is standard. They keep doing these pictures with kids holding the pots. Why aren't the adults there on the food line? They send the kids out with the pots. I've seen some of them where it's like 10 different kids. They all got the same exact pot, standard issue pot. We're hungry. We're starving. It's all for a good cause, though, this fakery. The Q operation is false flagging the false flaggers, giving those sons of bitches a taste of their own medicine. And what this has done after 2 years now, it has totally destroyed Israel's reputation, left their reputation in tatters. It's so bad now, even a lot of the evangelical crazies are dumping Israel. Gallup poll, here it is right here. 32% in the U.S. back Israel's military action in Gaza. A new low. 32% of Americans. Now, this is a country that was always in the 90+% pro-Israel. Oh, we love Israel. Our greatest ally. The only democracy in the Middle East. It's all falling apart for them. Everybody's sick of Israel. Left, right, center. Everybody's dumping on Israel. The man who engineered it, or the front man who engineered it, is Donald Trump. You understand? And he conceals this with his constant declarations of, I stand with Israel, I love Israel, I condemn anti-Semitism. Forget that. Okay? Don't pay no mind to the sizzle. Watch the steak. Watch the substance of what's happening. It's over for Israel. Everybody's sick and tired of Israel. And what we're seeing now, slowly but surely, with all of this engineered Epstein drama and tension, just like a movie, it's building up to the climax where they're going to expose the fact that Epstein Island was a blackmail operation for Mossad. But it doesn't end there. With this fake killing of Charlie Kirk, I did the earlier video. You might want to go back and see that. That was all staged. That's fake. But what do we hear now? It started out as a whisper and then a murmur. Now it's like a drum beat. It's not going away. We're hearing Israel may have killed Charlie Kirk because he was about to turn against Israel. And you're just hearing this more and more in the blogosphere. It's spilled over a little bit now to the mainstream media. In fact, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, not the old ADL, those sons of bitches who got my World War II book, The Bad War, kicked off of Amazon. Luckily, you can still get it at my website, realnewsandhistory.com. Now, the new ADL is really the QDL. They're under control, too. And they're putting out statements. And they were within 24 hours. Anti-Semitism, they're blaming Israel. Netanyahu comes out and says, no, we had nothing to do with it. So I'm keeping my eye and ear on this development. It does seem like we're heading towards a grand finale where Israel's going to get blamed for everything. But before we got to that point, they had to do this 2-year prep work of the wag the dog war in Gaza and the polling data and the constant attacks on Israel coming now from both the left and the right, all under the Q operation. This is how you attack a dangerous animal. And it's working. So we'll have to keep an eye on this and see where it goes. So